questions.
Okay.
Like if I hear you say something or you say something, like I'll piggyback. And y'all could pass it. Like,
why did you give me that look?
if you hear her say something,
I didn't know if he could see you.
Yeah, I can see. I'm gonna just turn. Am I still on there? All right, bet.
We're the best
Yeah,
guests you've
make
ever
sure the
had.
ladies was in the center. I'm gonna go off to the side.
I don't know if I like your sweatshirt over there.
What does it say?
Yeah.
What does it say?
No, I like it. It says women don't owe you shit.
Yeah.
That's a great.
That's true. Women's History Month.
It is. It's.
Oh, really?
Look at you.
I didn't know they did sweatshirts. I'd be signing stuff all the time. All these petitions. I didn't know they did sweatshirts.
Yeah, I agree with that statement.
Yeah.
Good job, Thornton.
Yeah, Thornton.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for your service.
He came in the clutch. I had to call my brother last minute. I was like, bro, like, I need help, man. Are you busy? He's like, nah, I'm on the way.
Oh,
So I appreciate you, man.
that's a true friend.
Always. I used to whoop his ass
Look at
a lot.
Look at the photo.
Oh, y'all have known each other since
The
you were
hurt
little?
eyes.
That's my brother. For
Oh,
real.
he's your real brother.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Oh, y'all's eyes do look right. Your eyes. Your eyes.
Because if I call someone my brother or sister or cousin, you don't know.
Nah, for
if
real.
It's blood or not.
I got a lot
Yeah.
of brothers that, not really
Oh, well,
my
you're
brother.
a great brother.
That's my one brother.
That's like real.
No,
solid.
just
No.
sometimes. Just sometimes.
Uncle,
I saw the
brother,
hard
all
eyes.
Oh, wow.
Be mean from both of you. Yeah.
There you go, man. That's half of it. There you go, bro. Right there.
Oh, that's okay. Are you
No,
the
I
younger
don't.
sibling?
No.
You're younger than him.
He my big little brother.
Big little brother.
I got bigger at a young age.
Then did you get your revenge?
Nah. Couldn't do that.
Oh, okay.
Too experienced, man.
I know.
You got to know about my life. You don't want to step in those shoes.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll never be able to pay back the days.
Nah, it's all. You ready, bro? You already played it? Man, just go ahead and rock while we finish.
Don't pay him back now.
Nah, please don't.
Please don't do that.
I'm fragile now. I'll probably break easy.
To be honest, I'll probably
I'd leave.
take a video.
We'd be shooting from out there.
Are you gonna put me on World Star?
Wild. Is World Star even a thing anymore? That's showing our age.
No idea.
I've never even heard of it.
World Star? Yeah, you don't want to
World
down that
Star.
rabbit hole.
Never heard of it.
It was the most ratchet,
And I know I'm older
ratchet
than y'all.
time on the internet of all time. World Star.
If it was like a YouTube for like gotcha situations,
Yeah,
that would be
that's
World
what
Star.
World
And
Star
like
was.
music videos.
I was probably.
I was.
I don't
you know. What I'm saying?
No, I just it's a very
We
niche.
good? No, y'all good.
Oh, okay.
I hear him over there, jamming.
I don't. Can you hear me still? Can you hear like weird things that I'm saying, like randomly, like World Star?
Can you hear her?
Like that's it.
Every time. You say that, I think, prestige worldwide. Y'all seen Step Brothers?
Yes. I love that movie. That is also a classic.
Every time she sees this. All right.
Y'all good?
We're delirious.
I know.
So
We're just
good.
drinking water.
Are we back? Redeem Yourself podcast in the house this evening. I got Honesty
Hi.
and Monique.
Hey.
So ready to get into this episode and, hear some stories, experience, strength, and hope, and, all of the above. So I appreciate y'all pulling up. Again, I'm the host, Jarrod. And before we go further,
He made sure he said Jerry.
I really wish that I had some water now too, because
want
like
it?
as you're doing that, I'm like, this would be a nice moment for us to
Too
go.
late.
no, I get you.
No, don't. Please don't.
Sure?
No, because now it just feels weird.
You get some water? You get her some water? Look at that. Thornton will get you some water. As we check in, I know that you're thirsty, Monique, so
I'm
he gonna
sorry.
take care of that
I
part.
wasn't
I would
really.
let
It's
you
gonna
have
be
mine, but
long-eyed.
there's so many germs going around. I can't do
Maybe
it.
long
No
eyed.
doubt. Well, how are you? We'll start to my far right. How are you doing? Let's check in. You gotta grab your
Mercy.
microphone. Gotta grab your microphone.
Oh yeah. All right, I forgot. I don't have a stand.
It's all good, yo.
Today has been really great. It was really busy, and then got some really like amazing news, and I just have been in like a really great mood since.
Okay.
And I'm actually like 2 weeks or something away from my 3-year recovery anniversary.
Holy cow.
So,
That is amazing.
and I actually like kind of forgot until I was looking through my planner, and I was like, I got to do this, and then this day, and then the 16th, and then the 17th, and then the 18th, there's this, and then I was like, oh my gosh, wait, I think that's my anniversary. This is great.
Sweet. What date is your anniversary?
It is March 18th of 2021.
March 18th.
So,
That's what's
yes, very exciting. So I'm just in a good mood. And it's a nice when you get to a place in your life and in your recovery where you're not just constantly searching for your recovery date and like waiting for that next milestone, and it just kind of like comes up on you because it's like, oh wow, I've just been living and life has been great.
At that point, you just kind of living day to day. When
Yeah.
it happens, it happens.
Yeah, look, now I have this, so I can.
Thank you, Thornton. That was clutch all around. How are you, honestly?
I'm great. Yeah, life is good. Really just had a bunch of errands to run today, so I'm grateful to have a career where I can kind of make my own schedule and just like work and be here tonight when it's my bedtime. I was just watching Wheel of Fortune. That's my favorite thing to do. But yeah, I got some news today. Just, just living life. Like she said, I guess I'll have 17 years in May.
What?
Yeah, I'm getting old, but feel young.
No doubt.
So yeah, I mean, recovery rocks. Just every day is a little different for me because I do a bunch of different things for my personal recovery, but also for McShin and my family and everything. I'm trying to think of something else exciting today. I took my dog to get her groomed because she's a diva. She's a diva bitch.
Shelby, we love you.
So she's got to get groomed. So I'm grateful to be able to do all of that, have money to pay for my dog kids and my human children.
That's the life, right?
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah, that's the life. I get it. How am I? I just got back from vacation, which was sweet. It was much needed.
Where'd you go?
Where'd you go?
I went on a cruise, and we went to Playa something in Mexico and Cozumel.
Okay.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it was great. It was an amazing time. But I will say in recovery, right, this was the first time in my 10-plus years that I really felt, like, tested.
Yeah.
So I got, like, on the boat, and I've been on cruises before, but normally I'm with, like, my family and my kids, so I'm at the water slide, like, in the arcade. And it was distracting from, like, everybody partying and having fun. So my wife and I went this time, and immediately you get on the boat and you walk in, it's the liquor store, it's, like, tax-free, and you're like, oh, shit, like, this is different. I've never paid attention to it like this.
Yeah.
So I go on about my business. We start laying by the pool. Everybody starts drinking and sitting. I'm like, that thought hit, like, man, maybe. And then the other side's like, no, you idiot. Like, what are you even talking about right now? So, I think one of my OGs in recovery told me, or like, as you read it in books and stuff too, like, when the student is ready or something, the master appears, like that type of shit. And at that moment, my wife was on her phone, and she was like, oh, there's a Friends with Bill W. meeting on the boat. And I was like, what time? She's like, 4. Looked at the clock. It was like 3:45. I was like, yo, I'll be back. So I just went down there, and complete transparency. Like, I don't go to AA. It wasn't my vibe. But in that moment, I was like, holy shit, this must be why people attend.
Yeah.
So it gave me, like, a whole new perspective. And I went to that meeting every day I was on the ship. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so
cool
yeah,
that
it
they
helped
did
pull
that,
me through.
too.
It was dope. Right on time too, because I was laying there like, yo, I got a week.
Were you the only one in there?
Nah, it was.
Instead of just being a therapist session,
Yo, I got the book. Where do I start?
Jarrod's feelings.
I'm good at talking to myself. Look,
That
facts.
was a legit question.
For real, I can talk to myself. I do that shit a lot. Like, nah, man, like, what are you thinking? You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
could carry on, like, good dialogue.
Yeah.
But the
Same.
first day, it was, like, 3 of us. The next day, it was, like, 4,
Oh,
or 1.5. And then the last day, it was 4 of us. So it was always, like, a good group of people just to,
Oh, I love that.
yeah,
though.
just to pass it. But it was an outstanding time. I swam with dolphins,
Oh,
which I've never done that before.
I haven't either. I want to.
It was sweet.
Yeah.
Dolphins are very smart, and I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Way
and they're
smarter than us.
Yeah, nah.
kind.
Yeah, they were the dolphin I had. Her name was Estria.
Estria.
Until
Yeah,
they're
it
not.
was a Spanish dolphin, so her name was Estria. But she was awesome, and that was great. I got back Saturday, and I just kind of been, I don't know, like sleeping on and off while working and just trying to get back. Like, 'cause I'm definitely not staring at the water, and it's not 86 degrees every day.
It's nice though today.
It was nice.
It was nice today. I went for a walk.
I will say one thing that I love about working in the recovery field. I can't make my schedule like Honesty can. Definitely can't do that. But
Yet.
I'm yeah. Okay, I like
It's the
that.
growth mindset.
I love that.
Yet.
Affirmations,
There
positivity,
you go.
manifestation.
There you go.
But I love that I'm able to be transparent with people, like, and be like, oh my God, this is a lot right now, or, and I don't know if this is actually why you said this today, but like I had recently said to Honesty, was like, man, like, yeah, this is, and I don't know if it's like visible from the outside, but I tend to just like push through and just still maintain this like peppy like mask. It's almost, I don't know why, it's weird. But then today she was like, oh yeah, like you should just go home early and then I'll see you at the podcast, and I'm, just let Jesse know. And I was just like, wow, you don't understand how big of a deal that was for me.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's
Giving you
crazy
kudos
because
on
like
live.
literally I've just been like, ugh, and it's like yelling in a room with a bunch of like padded walls and no one hears you. And it was like, I don't know if that was your reasoning, but it was like, I felt like, oh man, I feel heard. And it's nice to like work somewhere when they're like, oh yeah, I remember when I felt like that too. Maybe just take your computer home.
Yeah, you feel hurt.
Gosh.
Accept it. All that stuff we was looking for in the streets. I
Yeah,
get it.
all those things.
All of those things.
Yeah,
Good job.
that's pretty cool.
It looks
Pretty cool.
Well, it's look now. These young folk come in now. I had to work my butt off and neglect my family for a long time. So now we're at a place though at our organization, the McShane Foundation, to like be able to have so many staff. So when McShane started, I went through McShane.
Okay.
So almost 17 years ago
Nice.
for my heroin addiction. So when back then in 2007, it was just 3 recovery houses, only 1 woman house. It was 3 male staff. So I hated it. I hated everything about it. I was a baby. I just did not like people telling me what to do because I used drugs for 14 years until my mom knew the co-founder and found McShane. So when I lived there, I ended up living there for 5 months. I only wanted to detox off of heroin for a week. So I ended up staying and living there for 5 months, and I started working there. So, like, fast forward all these years later, now we have 16 houses. Now we have 26 staff. It's like, all these people that come in, I love them, but I'm like, bro, y'all have no idea. Because no one, our COO just celebrated 6 years today, employed at McShane. So, and then other than that, that's it. Because our co-founder and former president just retired. So it was just a different world back then. So I know like the feeling of like working a lot and long hours, and then just honestly, you're trying to save humans' lives.
Right.
So it's draining in itself.
Yeah.
So anything that I can do as the leader and make it more comfortable, or just like little things here and there, like work from home or whatever, I'm gonna try to do
Help
for our
out.
team. Yeah.
Yeah, now that's cool that you're able to realize that, because I also, do peer support, and it does get taxing on the mental. Right now, most of my clients are like youth, like 14 to 22, 22 you're
yeah.
grown, but you know what I'm saying? And it's like I'm looking at myself.
Oh yeah.
Because, and I don't know if they do this by design, but today I kind of got like, it was funny. So I'm like, man, I get all like the African American and biracial kids. You know what I'm saying? I was like, what? But it was
why.
like, but it was cool because I'm like, all right, I'm looking at a younger me, and I've always said, I wish I had somebody back then who could have gotten through to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not always perfect. And I feel bad, like, looking at some of their situations and circumstances, because we all know, like, I don't have a magic phrase or something that I could just say to you or give you and make it poof. Like, bro, you got to do some work. Like, we
Yeah.
got to grind, you know what I'm saying? So it does, like, I got to take days, and I think that vacation was right on time, you know, to kind of just let it all melt away for a minute and chill.
Time for me to take one.
It's about that time?
I'm going to
about
Nashville
that
in
time.
April, so
Okay.
I got a little bit longer.
Ain't too far away. We got a month.
Yeah.
Are you gonna wear any cowboy
I'm
hats?
not buying. No, absolutely not.
Yo, them
No
joints are
offense.
expensive. Yo.
Yeah, my sister's going.
I bought a glitter one for the
Oh, yeah, you do
Beyonce.
have that one.
release.
No, I'm not spending a penny because I'm already spending enough on everything else. So I'm gonna. Well, I'll borrow
You hear
yours. Yeah. He can hear you because you're whispering. Well, I might borrow
Wasn't a
yours.
real one.
That'll be dope.
I don't know. I'm not. But I'm gonna have fun no matter cowgirl
Enjoy
hat
yourself.
or nothing. Yes, it's gonna be awesome. We're going to a concert too.
What? Whose concert?
Tyler Childers.
Not familiar, but I
Yeah,
hope you
well,
have
he
a blast. I hope you
Yeah.
enjoy it. It
I
sounds
am.
like a grand old time.
I'm excited. I know.
All right, let's get into some recovery talk. So,
Wasn't that what we were doing?
yeah, we are.
Exactly.
This is facts, man. Y'all
Real
are
life.
with it.
Real life.
So you
Recovery is
got
life.
into McShin early on. Like, you were one of the OGs of McShin.
I am.
Okay, so
Yes.
well, and then I'm gonna touch on your story too. Let's start with honesty, since
Okay.
you jumped out the gate first.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at that. I'm pretty yeehaw. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I started using drugs when I was 12. And then I was a super hippie chick, smoked a lot of marijuana. I say weed, but marijuana. And LSD and shrooms. I just did a lot of things that, I mean, my son is now 14. I couldn't imagine him going to Fish shows, taking acid. Like, that's what I was doing at his age.
Right.
Fish is a jam band.
Yeah, I know Fishes. I'm familiar with Fish.
Okay. Fish is a jam band, and I don't really listen to them anymore. But anyway, I was this little hippie chick. I had older friends. Like, everybody was doing it, so that's kind of what I did. So I was drinking and doing all of that. I still got good grades. I cheated a lot in high school. Well, I was really started using drugs in middle school.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, a lot of that's in my book too, but, and then some of my friends were already dying from heroin. So it's been an epidemic for a lot of years. I'm 43 now. So when I was 17, I swore I never would use heroin because my couple friends had already passed away. And I just thought, I never went to college, never had desire to go to college. I graduated high school when I was 16, a year early, because I needed to support my drug habit. I needed to work full time because my parents didn't have money really at all. And so I just, sold drugs, stole drugs, did whatever, and had a full-time job. So when I was 17, I'll never forget the first time I did heroin. It was on my mama's front porch. I was smoking a jum, so a blunt with crack in it. I don't know what they call it these days.
Back then we called them a woo.
Oh,
I never
woo.
took part in the woos,
Woo.
but
Okay. Well,
heard
I
about
called it a
them.
drum. I don't know. It was 100 years ago, but that's what it was called. So to come off of that, I sniffed heroin for my first time, and I fell in love. That first time, I remember the feeling and kind of like it just numbed me. And then I ended up overdosing and getting revived with naloxone. They had the shot back then. I was 17. And then from age 17 to age 26, it was pretty much a living hell. I tried every form of treatment back then. I have 6 implants, the opiate blocker implants. I've had Jesus. They baptized me. I've had 12-step. I've had therapy, which I hated. And shots in my butt, buprenorphine. I had everything. Now it's a lot more forms of pathways of recovery and everything. I went to my first 12-step meeting when I was 17. I went to like 3, and I was like, everyone is 100 years old. I'm out. So I could not get down with that. And
you went to your first.
all right, I went
12-step
to my
meeting.
first 12-step meeting after I overdosed at 17, and everyone was old. So, well, I felt like they were old. I was 17. But the reality everybody's old. I just wanted to keep using. Like, I didn't get rid of the people, places, and things, or really the people, So I just kept using for a long time, for 9 more years. And I committed a ton of felonies, but never got caught. I truly believe, and that's in my book too, that I have guardian angels that, got me through a lot of criminal activity and a lot of things as a woman that I had to do, to get money and drugs to make me the woman that I am today. And throughout that, when I was 21, I had my daughter. She was born substance exposed. I used heroin my whole pregnancy. So that was tough and that was hard. It was the hardest thing that I had to work through in my personal recovery to forgive myself. And I'm very open about it now. She's 22 now, but so that did suck. I was hated after I had Destiny when I was 21. I hated myself 10,000 times more. So I just kept using and using and using. Put her in horrible situations. Committed a lot of felonies with her in the car.
Allegedly, I was thinking the same thing this whole
alleged.
time.
No, he caught me. Normally I do. When we start,
I am so glad you did that.
Okay. Well, they can't get me now. That was 30 years
Here's
ago.
mad long ago.
Okay. Yeah.
Allegedly.
Okay. Alleged. Well, okay. But anywho, so she was put through a lot, and then I found McShin when she was 5.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is a very powerful story.
Yeah.
Moving. I'm gonna come back because I got a couple questions. brewing
Okay.
up
Yeah,
here.
that was fast. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
you did. You
What do you want me
compacted.
to do?
So concisely, like
Well,
put.
because I
in-
know my story.
Yeah.
Well, and you just go read the book.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
read
mean,
this. I'm
yeah,
definitely gonna read
It's
this.
It's a
not
quick
long.
read.
It's
Yeah, it's a
97
very quick
pages.
read.
I'm a slow reader though, so
I
not-
read
No
that.
way.
I
Dude,
read that
I'm telling you, it's like
aloud.
watching a commercial.
Yeah, I read that aloud in like a jail facilitation, which only takes 2 hours.
Mhm.
We finished it within that 2 hours, and we're discussing it.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's super.
Yeah.
All
You'll
right,
see.
maybe I'm
It's
not
like
as
got
slow as I
troll
think.
dolls in it. It's wild.
All right, bet. I cannot wait to dive into this.
Y'all remember troll dolls, right? I know I'm not the only one. That's
Yeah.
seen trolls. All right.
I do
Because
remember.
I allegedly stole like 50 of them.
Hey, look, you're not that much older than
Oh.
I. I'm 30. I'll be 39 this year.
Oh, all right.
That's a
I'll
troll
be
doll.
44.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll
what's
be
your story?
31.
31.
Allegedly. I
Yeah.
said allegedly.
How old are you? 29.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We were so far apart.
You got it.
growing up.
Look, no, hold on. My brother turns 41 this year. I turned 31.
So y'all
He
like
is 40
9,
years
10.
old, and
how we
he
were.
turns 41. I turned 31 this year. Gabby turns 26, and Alana turns 17.
You got a big family.
Yeah.
It's a lot to remember. It's only 2 of us, and I still don't remember.
It's not a lot to remember. I can remember the exact shirts that Gabby borrowed from me.
That's your sister.
That she never returned.
Yo, bro, you still got
So I remember.
cigarette holes.
I remember
From Hot Now
everything.
and Burn It?
Probably doing all
I
kind
will
of
never forget.
nonsense.
Oh, wow. You owe him some shirts.
And he got some of my
They were
famous basketball jerseys still hanging up in the closet. I seen them.
reparations.
Allegedly.
Reparations. He's keeping it good for the aesthetic,
love
so it can
this
stay
guy.
clean and stay nice.
All right, your turn, Monique. Break
Okay.
it down.
Damn,
All
you
right.
drank That whole water.
I know I was really thirsty. I was like hot. I had to take off that vest. I thought it looked cute with the outfit, but it was really hot. Anyways, so I'm not as good at concisely bringing it down. I started smoking and drinking a lot in middle school. I had a lot of older cousins and older friends starting out really young. I was I developed very early, so I had older friends at an early age, and my freshman year of high school is kind of when things took a turn.
What high school you went to?
I went to Midlothian High School. So
Outside.
you would think, oh, it's so safe and oh my gosh, yes, it's such a great academic school. I was a great student.
Mhm.
Great student, no cheating or anything. But my freshman year, I'll never forget. I remember my dad, he had retired. He was home all the time. That was very new. Both my parents are retired Marines now.
Okay.
So back then, my dad was the first one to retire. He came home. It was kind of new adjustment. And I had just had dipped.
Mhm.
And he got a call from the school. And it was a Thursday or Friday. It was a Thursday. And he was like, if you don't come home, I know that you skipped school. Where are you? I was actually it was my very first fish show. And it was I was in I was in Philadelphia. I was in the state of
How the hell
Pennsylvania.
you
In
ducked out of school
Philadelphia.
and made it to Philly? I mean, granted, it's only like 4
6
hours.
hours. It was like 5.5, 6 hours.
Really?
I think. I don't know.
Maybe it's like
I mean,
4 hours.
yeah,
like 3 and a
maybe.
half, 4
Whatever.
hours.
Yeah,
it's like 3 and a
it's
half,
not
yeah.
bad.
Philly's
It's
not
not
bad at
terrible,
all.
right? So I was like, "What are you talking about? I'm just getting filthy in Philly." And he's
What?
like, "What? What are you talking about?" I had already like picked up all this like lingo, everything. I was like really big in psychedelics, and alcohol has kind of always been my physical dependency. But freshman year is, I mean, I love psychedelics, and I've, tried ketamine for the first time, and that was kind of like my like, oh my God, I love this. I love this. This feels like I'm tripping and like my body feels cool, whatever. And I just kind of went downhill from there. But like I never really realized I was an addict for a long time because I was so functional.
Right.
Like I was a great student, granted functional, like I was getting in trouble, doing things and hanging out and getting arrested, like, before the age of 18. And but I was like, man, whatever, screw this, right? So I go to college. I went to University of Pittsburgh, and it just got like 20 times worse because then I had like no supervision. This is amazing. Also, my parents, I'm like a PK. So they're like, this is all backstory. I'm a PK, right? I'm a preacher's kid.
Oh man, we were late.
And PK, military background. And so I just wild out in college, like completely wild out. I ended up getting like, I started eating fire and like hula hooping and stuff. Yeah, that's like a side note. I know I was an insured fire performer. And like I dropped out of college to like go on this like just hippie journey, and like moved to Costa Rica to work at a festival, started teaching yoga, and none of these things helped I was really good at masking what was going on because I was always under the influence, but I never was like slumped. So people didn't really know, And I remember going to 12-step meetings when I was like 18 or 19. It was it had to be 18 because it was my first break from college. And I was like, oh no, y'all are down bad. I can't relate to this. Like, y'all are going through too much. I'm not one of y'all. I am not one of y'all. And even like, and that same pattern would happen for like years. Like I worked in nightlife, and just, so I would have times when I would have a lot of money and then times when I didn't have money. And so like, I would be like, those times are really bad. I'm homeless with my dog, sleeping in a parking garage and whatever, downtown LA. I'm like, oh, that's okay. I'll like, this stuff happens. Like I'll just, and I had some just really, I don't have any children. I have my dog. That is my child. And she went through so much with me in active addiction. And like my best friend, who is still my best friend today. She's been my best friend for over 10 years. Shout out Jasmine. But
Salute.
we went through some really traumatic experiences, and she wanted to change our lifestyle. I didn't agree, and like pushed it even further, which is one of the things that I worked through like in my early recovery of just like, how do I still kind of struggle with that. Like, how do I forgive like putting this lifestyle on another woman? I would never do that. I couldn't imagine doing that today.
Right.
But my kind of bottom, like I was in a car accident, y'all. I had a stroke. I had brain surgery.
Damn.
It was a lot. None of that stuff mattered. Like none of that made me be like, oh,
maybe
like,
I should chill.
This is terrible, right? Like, oh my God, like my brain is actually getting damaged by my alcohol consumption. Like, no, none of that. What happened is that my parents were like, you can't hang out with your little sisters, especially my youngest sister. She was born the August before my freshman year of high school. My mom was stationed somewhere else. And so the first 4 years I like helped raise her. And it like felt so terrible to be like, we don't trust you to be around your sisters. And like I shouldn't have been trusted, you know? And
Right.
that's the crappy part of realizing that. So that's kind of like I was like, okay, maybe tried something. I tried to detox. That didn't work. I just left Tucker's. I was like, this is during COVID.
Right.
I'm like, oh no, y'all got me messed up. I'm not doing this. And then like I didn't want to live anymore. I was isolated. We were under quarantine. I'd had a brain surgery, so I'm high risk. No one is like coming to see me. No one's even checking to see if I'm okay other than my brother and my mom, you know? And that's like that's like FaceTimes. That's not in person. And I just felt like, dang, all these people that I've hung out with, that I've been friends with, calling family for 10 plus years since I was 15. I'm like 30. I was like 27 at the time. I'm like, I'm almost 30 now. No one's even seeing if I'm okay. Like I could be dead right now. And so I didn't want to live. And thankfully that did not work out. And I reached out to my dad and I said, you know, I'm ready for a change. I cannot do this by myself. And he knew, the co-founder from McShin too, but I wasn't prepared for how quickly he moved on that. Like this was like, I hit him up like really like all messed up. And he was like, okay, be ready by 8 a.m.
Military.
I was like,
you
hold on.
shit.
And then not even just that. Then he sends my mom to come spend the night with me so that I didn't leave. And I was like, oh my God. Okay. So we go through with it. We make a stop at the VA hospital before McShin.
I used to work there.
That was not a good, I was about to leave. Why would you make a stop on the way to the goal, right?
Yeah.
I was like, man, I'm looking up flights because my to go is just I'm gonna leave, go back to LA. I was looking up flights for me and my dog. And my dad's best friend, his wife, called and was like, I just want you. She had just come out of treatment from like some really nice place in Pennsylvania. It was like, this is about to be the best thing that you could ever do for yourself. And I'm so proud of you. This is the bravest thing. I know you feel weak and I know you feel whatever. And I just started bawling and it's kind of making me a little emotional right now. But I was like, I'm going to stay. And I wouldn't have stayed without Karen Booth, you know? And I ended up at McShin. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Not? Just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I cry on here a lot.
I can't. No.
I cry on here a lot. Nah, like both of y'all stories are definitely inspiring, you know, and to hear that you were functioning so well up until the point of like, so what came first, the accident and the brain surgery? Was it like kind of chronological?
I had been functioning, right?
Right.
Like anyone, like my dad, I couldn't stay. We didn't have a good relationship. We're like BFFs now, love him. But like we didn't have a good relationship because he always called it out. He's in recovery as well. And to me, I was functioning, but like there'd be signs. There'd be times when I didn't have places to live, or there'd be times when the only person eating is yay and it's like can't, you know what I'm saying? Or it's the pack of tuna. And just, you know, I would have a lot of just like, I had really, you know, a lot of co-occurring issues going on with my mental health. And but as far as from the outside, I'd wear my makeup every day. I'd have my lashes done. I'd have my hair done. I had a nice car. I, you know, dressed well, and no one ever knew. So, and that was for a long time. Like literally, I still had people after I posted my 1 year, like on my social media a couple of years ago. Some of my friends were like, I cannot believe you're in recovery. I didn't know that. Like, and then some people would be like, girl, I'm so glad you finally got help. Cause sometimes, yeah, girl, like you would think, but like, that's not, I got locked up in Arizona. I was locked up in Arizona. That wasn't fun.
No.
I didn't care about any of that. I didn't care. And in my mind, it all made sense. Because I was like, I work in nightlife. We all act like this.
It's part
we all
of
do
the
this.
gig, right?
We all do this. No, not everyone's getting arrested for trafficking. Not everyone's doing this. Not everyone's doing that. Like, no, it's not.
I think that's like the beauty of recovery, right? It's like you get some people's stories where they were living this extravagant life and traveling and shit. And then like when I talk, I'm like, yo, I did all of my dirt like right here. Like
Me too.
within this
I did not
radius, you know, I
travel.
didn't go to Costa Rica and get fucked up. I was like right here in Richmond, went to Richmond City. My younger brother, God bless his soul, when I got arrested, he was at the bus stop. And I've never, like, me and him need to tell us, I've never seen, like, what did that look like from a kid to be standing there waiting for the bus and then see 10 cop cars bum rush the house. And here I am standing out front at 7:30 in the morning in Wyndham with a hood on my head, like, holy shit. Like, yeah, in the middle of Wyndham. Yeah, and, you know, because Wyndham, prominent neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, you got, we're the PK kids. Preacher's kids. So like you already got this like light on you. And I hated it growing up. You know, now like our pops passed last year, but he did so much for our family. And like looking back at our time, it's like, oh, I was such a knucklehead. He really was just trying to get to me because him and I were so much alike. You know, he was able to open up about his recovery and things that he went through, and he saw me. So one of our last conversations before he passed, I was just talking to him, and I was like, bro, why didn't you know what I'm saying? Like try to step in earlier. He was like, yo, I did. You know, like you just weren't ready.
I'm listening.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He said you weren't ready. I couldn't figure out how to get through to you. So I just had to let you, you know, do what you did. And you know, that whole conversation, like funny enough, the day that I decided to get sober, it was him. You know, like I was a wreck. You know what I'm saying? Tried to take my own life. I had 2 kids at the time. And I was like, yo, fuck it. Like, this is not it. Like, I'm dead broke. I got nothing going for me. And I want to ask neighbors too, because I was yelling at the sky at like 3 a.m, like, yo, fuck you. Like, what is this down here? I don't want to do this shit. Like, take me. Like, this whole spill, like, I could have had a camera outside recording me. You know what I mean?
None of that. I remember. Right. Now you're making me.
God.
Just go back,
just
right?
remember just this horrible stuff we do to ourselves.
Right.
And like, just like stuff like that, like just like talking to God, like it's God's fault.
And cursing God.
And like
Cursing God.
take my life and just, and now like, I don't know, it's just really cool being in recovery. It's like, you know, I talk to God a lot today.
It's very different tone.
I did talk to God a lot today, thanking him. But like just listening to you, like we all come from different walks of life, right? And we all have addiction. And like the reality of it is what connects so many humans, at least, you know, because we work with people, we have 154 beds at McShin, is recovery.
Right.
You know, just like your daddy, I say daddy.
Diddy.
It's in the
Diddy.
Your
My
daddy
daddy.
tried to help you, you know, and so
Word.
did mine. My daddy just wanted me to take a magical pill, though he didn't understand what addiction was. He believed it was like, just stop, like shake me, stop, and just magically not do it. So for all those years, well, when they found out I was on drugs, because I hid it for 5 years, which I think I did it well. They didn't find out until you're 17, you overdose, they call your parents. Like, that's what happens. So anyway, so it's like really the education piece of like what recovery, what addiction is, especially now. It's another whole world. Like if fentanyl was back then, I wouldn't probably be here with you today.
Facts.
And like knowing the stuff, and a lot of it's in my book too, but like really like what we put our bodies through and our minds through, our children through, our families through. And the reality of it is I look at my life now and I think I was talking to you about it, and like just looking at you, like I live 2 lives. Like it's really weird. You don't get that opportunity all the time as a human being to live 2 lives. And I truly believe, I know I didn't like pass away and come back, but I have lived 2 lives, if not more than 2 lives, because being in recovery and the longevity of recovery, it's like you're just in this movie sometimes because I'm surrounded by so new of recovery, even though I have all these years and all this experience. It's like I meet a new person in recovery every 2 days.
Right.
So it's like, it's wild to even think when I tell my story, like I lived in McShin, like I'm running McShin. It's just really weird because it's like two different worlds
Right.
that collide all together though. And it like makes you the human that I believe the human you're meant to be. So it's really cool, like hearing other people's stories too, and like how much, like I know a lot about you, but little things that you just said I didn't know. So it's really cool to be like being able to sit back and like see so many people like get their shit together,
Right.
but also like really learn how to love themselves. Because I'm a big believer. And the participants hear me all the time. Like, I'm a big believer, like drugs and alcohol over here. Like, that's not really my role at McShin to say don't do drugs. It's really the reality is learning how to love yourself as a human being and forgive yourself for the stuff that, you know, we have done in active addiction, but also in recovery. It's like try every single day just to make your your light brighter in someone else's, because that's what recovery is for me, is really like trying to be happy, but also like be very authentic. If you know me. So I'm very, very authentic. Because life is just too short. I'm reading this girl. I don't know. Y'all might make fun of me because my daughter gave me this book, and it's Sadie Robinson from Duck Dynasty, the younger girl. She's old now. She's like 30 maybe. But I just started reading her book today. She's older now. But
you
anyway,
said old, and you said 30.
not old, but like older. Because Duck Dynasty, she was like a little dimpled teenager. Anyway, and I was started reading. That's my new book because I gotta read the stuff my children give me. I have to, even if it is like in a different language. It's my kids pick it out for me. So, just like anyway, she was just talking about like living your life like every single day is your last, like legit. And there's so many shirts and quotes and hashtags, and it's like the reality of like really for me, I have to check myself daily when I'm in a funk or if something doesn't go my way. It's like what recovery has taught me is to really understand that this could be my last day today. And I don't sit here and go spend all my money and like do all that, but really like try to have fun or do something cool or do something for myself. Every single day, even if it's something. I did my ice bath. I beat my time, so I did it for 6 minutes this morning. So I did do my ice bath. It was at 49 degrees, so that is the highest it's been because it's usually lower than that, but it's been hot outside. So I did it for 6 minutes this morning. So I do the ice baths, but anyway, so just listening to you, it's like cool to be able to like see that, growth.
I love that you talk about like living two separate lives because it genuinely does take a grieving process when you're in recovery, like grieving your past life. Like, I feel like some people don't understand that part. Like, some people don't understand, like, yes, you are going to be excited to like start this new path, but there are going to be moments when everything sucks.
Yes.
And you're like, dang, this would have been so much easier than this. Or like, you're like, dang, I remember days when I could just whatever. And that's how I would have dealt with it. And it's like, you just make the conscious decision to not deal with things in those ways anymore. But like, you still feel like you like, dang, man, that was a lot easier. It sucks, but it was a lot easier. And it's like, you do feel sad sometimes. I remember freaking out. It wasn't until like I didn't even get like a really intense craving until like my 9 months. And at the time, my dad was coming to. I was going to 12-step meetings. My dad was coming to every key tagging. You know, every like 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 6 months, 9 months. And I remember I called. I was like, I'm crying. It's right after my 9 months. And I'm like, man, I just had this feeling and I just don't understand. And I'm like, now I feel like everything sucks. Everything felt so great before. And he literally was like, Monique, that's normal. It's absolutely okay to feel like, feelings. Dang, I miss when this was that easy. But it was that easy because look at your results. Like your results were crap. You know, now it's harder. Yeah, but
I think it gets harder. Not harder because I don't have any desire to use drugs. It's gone. I don't even think about. I mean, like once a year maybe. I'm like, oh, let me shot. Like take
Yeah.
a shot
And I
of
think-
alcohol, not dope.
Yeah.
You know, but like it's what I feel like life gets harder kind of because as we adult and have children and like have all this extra responsibility because it's life. Like my daughter's 22 and our son is 14 now. And we're just going through a bunch of different things because she is in college. So I just had to pay for that. And he's in private school. So we reclassed him for sports because he's a hopefully one day professional baseball player because he's good and he's been doing travel for like this is our 8th year I think now. So
Okay.
he's a
Nice.
beast.
He will not forget about
is-
Auntie Momo.
Right.
Nice.
So anyway, like financial stuff and like
Yeah.
it's just like all like adult stuff when yes, like you know, let me just go get drunk or something. Like I you know, if I ever like I just feel like alcohol is just really easy to get these days. Well, forever. But the longevity of recovery, that's why I try to like share about my struggles with people too. Like, you know, someone just told me the other day it's time because that book is 2 years old to write another book of like that type of stuff of like what you go through, you know, when you get a lot of years in recovery because it's like there is turning back because I know people that get a lot of years and they end up using and then, you know, losing a lot of stuff. And I don't have no desire to do that whatsoever.
Right.
It's just like I know other humans deal with the same stuff, but with my addictive nature and like how I was made, it's like I get obsessive over other things. And that's like the fear of and like the unexpected when you're supposed to just live in today. And I
Right.
was just talking, 20 minutes ago about, love your life. But it's like still hard some days because you have so much around you. You have bills to pay, you have all this stuff. And then when you have children and dogs, because I have 2 of them, spoiled
me
brats too. You know, it's like and being a CEO and having all these expectations, it's really hard. Like, how do you feel? Like, do you
Navigate.
feel like it's weird? Like, you said you had 10 plus years, right?
Yeah.
Because it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong.
Nah.
It's fucking
Do you guys
rocks.
ever just have like moments during your work weeks or like days where you just like go in the shower and cry or have little cry breaks?
Is
that
not
it's
during
normal?
The day at work, 'cause
Well,
we
no,
don't
no,
have
no,
a
not
shower there.
not at work, but like
Oh yeah, I've gone.
You know?
I've gone and just like because that's the best place to like get it out. I feel like I cry. You see me cry there. At the office. I mean, I cry like I can't. I'm one of the types that when I can't stop. Because I
get
don't
it, yo.
cry like all the time. So when I do, it's hard. But yeah, I still have those with certain situations.
So it was like a 2-part question. First is like it getting difficult, right? Like the more you stay sober, the more you're in recovery. For me, what I've kind of tapped into, like if it's hard, it's worth it for me, right? And every phase of my life is gonna require me to level up. You know, it's the same shit I try to teach to my kids and my clients. Like, hey man, like you're going through a growth spurt. Like I can't be who I was last year. Like last year was a very difficult year for our family, for me personally, where I did absolutely nothing. You know, I was stagnant as hell. Like it was days where I would wake up and go right back to sleep because I just couldn't manage. You know what I'm saying? Thank God I didn't use. I don't know who you are, but salute to you, waving. They just walked away now, but cool.
We'll be out for our drive.
So yeah, you know, but I realized I think around December, it was that like inner self conversation. Like, look, man, you don't want to next May to roll around and you still sitting in the same chair, sad and upset. Like you got to do something. So what is it? And so I tapped into what I know, the affirmations, the meditation, calling on a friend. Just got back in the gym last week. So, you know, I'm just trying to piece all of my stuff back together because it is difficult. You know, we actually got feelings now. You know, all of my shit, that mask, I wore it well. You know, I was this wannabe like hard ass dude running around selling drugs, doing whatever to kind of keep the facade flowing. Now it's like I'm so authentic and pure. Like I'll tell you about myself before anybody else can. Like, yeah, I did that shit. Like, it's cool. You know what I mean? Like, but that's who I have to be now. Like I wear that shit up front proudly because I don't want anybody else to tell my story. Like I'd rather walk right, yo, I fucked up. Like, here's what happened. Take it. It is what it is. So yeah, I mean, it's difficult, but it's oh so worth it. You know what I'm saying? And then the crying piece. Like I let that shit out all the time. You know, I grew up in a household where my pops he'd tell you straight up, like, yo, I'll give you something to cry about.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Right.
I had to,
Same.
yes, sir. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Get a
Same.
you know what I'm saying? Like I
Same.
had to let them joints suck them back in real quick. So now, you know, when I do get the feeling, like I find my space like in the car, because that's probably like the one place where I don't got this thing like blowing up, reading Zoom messages or checking Instagram. And like I'll ride with the radio off sometimes and all those emotions will just kind of hit me. You know what I mean? Like, cause it's one thing my brain can just shut down. I can just cruise and not like I used to have loud music all the time. Now I'm just kind of chilling when I'm in the car. So I feel like maybe that's where my brain quiets down. So it gives me a moment to just, and then it's either like, man, I'm really hurt inside, or it's like, man, thank you guys so much. Like, I can't believe it. You know what I mean? Because there's two sides to the tears. You feel me? Depending on how, you know, my emotions are, the day is going. So I get it all. You know what I mean?
I feel like that's really good advice to like find your place. Like I feel like with
Yeah.
your ice bath is really like
I have a whole routine.
you have a whole
Yes, sir.
routine.
I do my coloring
It's
book in the
right.
mornings. I drink my coffee. I read my books. I have got to have that silence.
Yeah.
Right.
Before everyone wakes up in my house.
Right.
That is my time. And then I wake my son up, let my dogs pee, and I work out. I do Peloton.
Okay.
And all that.
See, I think though it's like for people that are like, oh, I'm too busy. I don't have time.
You
I
wake up
can't.
earlier.
That's cap. You gotta create time.
But like, look, I like what you said, right? Your solution is like you started noticing when I'm in the car, this is really good for me. So it's like even for the people that come up and say, I don't have time.
It's a lot.
You know, when you're driving, how about that? When you're doing this, how about you wake up 30 minutes earlier?
Yeah.
Not me.
That's really like the plug.
But you.
You want to add hours to your day. You got two options. You either wake up earlier or go to bed later. And what I found about myself, like I was once like a really early riser. Like I have a Peloton too. I'm not gonna lie. I have not turned. I have not turned that shit on in like a year and a half. That joint is in the corner. Where I got a Peloton.
You hanging clothes on it?
Man, that shit ain't nothing on it. I don't even know if it's plugged up. It's a Peloton. What else I got in there, bro? Treadmill.
You want to donate it to McShin?
I don't know if I can do that. I'm gonna use it one day.
You know those desk like treadmills that you bring in?
I donated a desk bike. It's at Bruno.
I don't. First of all, I don't like. My dad also Pelotons, and it's
my friend.
It's real. His whole profile is like hashtag Grungy Strong, and it's like he's made a whole like personality out of it. And I tried it. I tried it twice. First of all, them seats are not comfortable.
No, you gotta keep going.
So now no, I can't. It hurts my butt. Like I literally cannot. And then my dad's like, well, you can buy this like seat, like accessory to go on it. I'm like, I'm not buying a $200 seat to go on your Peloton. And I just I'm not like a huge fan. So I was dog sitting for Honesty, right? I used to dog sit for Honesty a ton. And she was like, oh, if you ever want to use the Peloton, like, it was like really sweet, right? Because like this is really expensive equipment. Yeah. And you're like, yeah. And I'm like, I remember I opened up the door to look at it, and it looked like it was staring me right back. I know you ain't finna get on this. I was like, I'm not.
I think it's whatever works for you. Because I've been through phases of my life. Like I really love exercise. I enjoy it. Like I did my ice bath and I walked today. So on my rest days I walk. But it doesn't have to be exercise. That is just my number one pathway for my recovery now. Like I don't have 12-step in my patchwork anymore right now at this time. So I do therapy. I do exercise. I write. I journal. I color now. And what else do? I try to meditate. That's not really my jam. I drink coffee first thing in the morning, so I think that is the issue.
Your brain just
right. And it's just like I be coloring, trying to be like zen, and I'm thinking about 30 things I have to do. So I try to light my damn candle, and then I move over here in my pink chair. So I just try to do what works for me, and all that works for me. Because if I don't do that, I'm normally just not in a good mood in the morning. So I have to like release endorphins and like all of that stuff. That's that's just how I'm made up now. And I love it. Like, I love it. And I'm not like, I used to be, and it's in my book too. So we're not going to go into the whole thing, what my husband did, but I got addicted to running and like trying to, like my addictive brain, like I was trying to plan out my run a week from, you know, and every week, how could I fit it in? And if I couldn't fit it in, everyone around me knew it.
Yeah.
And
Mad
I was
anxiety.
a bitch. Oh no, I was like, with my run, like I'm so important, self-centered nature, like all of that. But the reality I hated my body, and I never wanted my husband to look at another person, you know, but me. So it's like that bigger, deeper dive, like the stuff that you continually, for me as a woman, I have to continually work on so much stuff. Like the body image stuff is really not my jam anymore. It's in the book since I was like 8. I hated the way I looked. So just recently, like the past few years, I've really just accepted it, you know, and really like I'm strong AF. Like I'm literally physically strong. I could probably lift up this table. But I am really passionate about, especially with women, like learning how to love yourself, you know, in every part of you. And that I wouldn't be able to do that without like all the stuff that I've learned to this point through my personal recovery journey. And then like the whole point of recovery is to help somebody else. So, you know, there's this, and what we were talking about is like your jam, like whatever it is, if it's in the car, if it's in, I like that quiet. Sometimes my Bluetooth don't work and I get pissed at first. I'm like, mother. I was like, every time this song comes on, I listen to podcasts a lot. So I'll be listening to this one.
Word.
Well, I don't want to hear myself again, but I'll listen to the rest of your episodes. But you know, I think it's my higher power, my God's like shutting it down on purpose so I can sit and be quiet. And I'm like, bro, I get it. All right, I got you. So like, you know, and then you just sit in silence. And it is a cool experience to be able to sit in silence. And when I'm doing my coloring, it's like one of those meditation coloring books. It's really cool just drinking my coffee and just silent.
Yeah, you just got like a really solid routine.
Yeah.
To help you. What you think your day to day?
So for me, I'm so wrapped up in these cords underneath. Anyways, embarrassing. For me, I'm not a morning person, so I'm not waking up
We've gone places together
at 6-5 in the morning. I'm not doing that. But I do. I wake up at 7 o'clock. I wake up at 7 o'clock. I take my shower because I gotta take my shower first and do like a nice little karaoke performance in there or cry. It depends on like my mood sometimes, you know. You never know the vibe. And then I take my dog out. And if I don't take my dog out, I'm like ridden with anxiety until lunchtime when I can go take her out to make sure she's okay.
You gotta let her out every morning.
I do. No, she's a free. She doesn't stay in a cage, in a crate at home. She don't pee? No, she does. That's what I'm saying. Like some days, if I oversleep, I'm already starting the day behind because I'm already having anxiety. Like I'm already freaking out. Like I'm already freaking out, y'all. Like I get to work and I'm like, how's Yay doing? Oh my gosh, she probably thinks I'm such a terrible dog mom. But then when I come home, I think my biggest self-care is like when I come. So I write a lot. I've been working on this fiction story.
Yo, that's crazy. Whenever somebody laughs before they talk,
I thought she was gonna say
because I've been working on this short story.
She can't get that shit out, yo.
I've been working on it for like 6 years.
How short is it?
It's never ending.
Shit, yo.
It's never ending. It's about a family trying to cross the Rocky Mountain Pass during the 1850s, and they're like doing Lewis it by like Clark? 2 horses. Yes, and there's a blizzard coming, and they're trying to outrun it, but it doesn't look like this because one of the horses gets hurt. I'm not like crying for a bad reason. I'm crying because I'm laughing because I've been working on this for so long.
You just got to bring that to me.
It was inspired by buy Fleet Fox's song, and that album came out like 11 years ago. So
Oh
it's
my
like,
gosh, well, you can still
you know, I've been
finish
writing it for like 6 years.
Gordon's over there like, what is that?
Anyways,
you
I
want to read it,
I-
don't you? You want to read it.
I want to figure out
Yeah.
what'd you
Which
say?
Chris
which
does.
one size it.
I want, okay, look. So in my head, right? In my head, I'm like, it can't take the
man.
whole. It can't take the whole family anymore. So somebody's got to go. We've got the
Oh.
mom, the dad. There is a kid, but the mom's sister's
So
there.
you're stuck on who to say.
But look, you know,
It's
the
like
mom's
Oregon
sister's
Trail.
gotta go because she ain't even family. She the mom's family. I mean, but then the mom's coughing. It's like, ooh, should we get rid of that before she gets everybody
Yeah,
else sick?
because the
There's a
Oregon
lot of
Trail.
different- there's a lot of-
Yeah.
Did y'all see
Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all,
Floppy disk and all.
and I have okay. So part of my delusional, like,
You can't take nobody
this
out.
is me. Like, I'm such a cool, eclectic, girly, like, aesthetic. It's like on the weekends, I have a record player, and I play this Fleet. It's one of my very first vinyl that I bought, a Fleet Fox's self-titled album,
Uh-huh.
and it plays the song, and then I go and
You right? To the music.
and I don't never get more than like
All
2
right.
sentences
It's
in.
not
First and
funny.
foremost, like, what is
You
this
can
song
finish
called?
it.
It's
I don't even know
Helplessness
who you're even
Blues.
talking about.
What
What?
good is
I
it
don't know
to
that.
sing Helplessness
You
Blues?
might have to
By
spell
Fleet
this.
Foxes.
Fleet Foxers.
Fleet Foxes.
Foxes.
Helplessness
It's what
Blues.
the fox said. Remember the fox song?
Hopelessness
No, that was
Blues.
Baby Shark.
No, oh yeah. No.
She was right.
That's a different one.
Yeah.
She
That's
said that's
fox
Yeah, that's
right.
what the fox said.
Yeah, that's what the. Remember how? I mean,
Yeah.
isn't it
Well, it's
wild?
such a wild ass song because, like, what do foxes say? You know?
Wait, first of all, in
I just seen
England,
a dead fox yesterday.
well, in England, you know, they hang out as like frequently as like rodents. They
The
basically look at
foxes?
yes.
In
Well,
England,
maybe they
In England,
talk.
they're like they are like neighborhood.
like cats.
Oh,
Like
what?
cats
Yes,
here.
like a neighborhood
That's
cat,
interesting.
and people like it's so weird to me.
Damn.
I'm
Well,
sorry.
Let's keep working. Yeah, let's keep
It's a
working
lot
on
of
that
fun
book.
facts. Okay, so I like to write and I like to listen to music and I like to sit in the sun on my balcony with my free balcony furniture that Cricket gave me from work. Shout out Cricket. And
salute.
but it's cold, so I just basically have been in hibernation phase, hating my life
It's
for
nice
4
now.
months.
Or
It's starting to
ain't
warm
no
up.
anymore.
It's starting to warm up.
Yeah.
though. We back outside soon.
I need the sun.
Yeah.
Back outside.
You know it's bad when like you're a biracial kid and then people start asking you if you're sick just because it's like the winter time
So your
and you're a
tan
little
starts to fade
paler
a
than
little, yeah.
usual and you're like, no, I'm not sick.
Oh,
I'm
man.
just
no
pale.
vitamin D right now, so
Yeah.
my
I don't
pigmentation
blame you.
is off. Yeah, I get it. We got them problems. That's why I
What are
wear
you laughing
jeans
at
so
me?
frequently.
no, it's just because
If you
you're
know,
like,
you know.
my
You know what I'm
pigment-
saying?
I'm so
My
white.
pigmentation.
I don't even care.
I love honesty.
I don't care. I would rather be white
Well,
than burnt.
thank y'all for letting me share about my
Well,
You don't have
next,
to.
next
think
year
of
she'll
it.
have that book for y'all to read, and y'all can have her back.
Yo,
You
that
know-
joint sounds fire.
No,
yo.
and it's in the same. I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty cool because it's in like a hand bound leather, like.
Oh, like
notebook.
you found
Like
that
a-
joint outside in the
No, my dad
wilderness.
gave it to me.
Oh, okay. My bad. I apologize, sir.
She made it with from a
That's
tree.
what I meant. Yeah,
My
like,
dad
you-
gave it to me,
That's
and it smells really good. So I use that.
Gordon's gonna come back all
This
the
is-
time to help you now.
this is outstanding. yo.
Like,
Ask away.
About the
What do you got?
Please.
I think it's better than me being like,
no, please don't unpack this.
Well, how about this? She will give you a personally signed copy as soon as she publishes.
I'm gonna publish it now.
Yeah, I'll
I
give
thought
you
this was for my
publisher.
self care. It's a lot of pressure.
Nah, you gotta let this joint
Sounds
fly
like-
now because
Yeah,
I
you
gotta
gotta
see.
go, 'cause
Look,
it sounds like
Wait,
it's
I should
self-stressful.
look
Yeah.
instead of y'all know how Teresa, whatever her name is,
Ooh.
had the who the F. Y'all don't know about
You've
Risa.
been throwing out names to me every day. I don't
Risa
know.
Teresa
Risa
Reese's?
off of TikTok. She's got the
Oh, I don't
50
do
something
that.
part. Who the F did I marry?
Yeah, I didn't watch it, but I did see like people talking about it. I just didn't take time to go down the rabbit hole.
How about this, right?
What's up? Oh shit.
Maybe I could do a 50-part series
On
of
the,
me coming here and reading like 2 pages at a time.
I'm down. Do it. Knock it out.
Thornton
Would
said,
you-
We posted on TikTok.
Go
And
for
hopefully
it.
make $80,000 in 2 weeks like she did.
Damn.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
did make some money off of that.
Yeah.
And she read a book.
Nah, she told her real life some shit like what happened. I'm
Well,
not
we can
familiar.
do that.
Yeah, that's-
It's a great
Read my
idea.
book.
Yeah.
Where's the money?
you know what?
Where's the money? I mean, it was a pretty intense story.
Oh, well,
Risa Teresa.
Risa Teresa or something.
Don't look at me. I'm barely on
Ah.
TikTok. I don't do the
Legion
TikTok.
has posted some reply videos. He's doing interviews. That's the guy that she's talking about, and it's supposedly he says he's been in the works filming with Netflix for the past 16 days.
I know what Netflix
All right.
is.
It didn't even come out 16 days ago, so it doesn't make sense.
I'm gonna have to go watch a little bit of this after this
I'm
cup of
derailing
coffee because
this.
I'm definitely not going to bed when we leave.
I am.
But-
Right to sleep.
So this was good conversation. What are you working on now,
Wow.
honestly?
Life. Nothing really. No more books right now.
Yet.
Not yet. Yeah,
Yeah.
right now. It's a lot to write a book. It's
How long did this take you? Outside of like
Uh,
living life and having the experiences
Yeah.
and stuff.
I think it's like 8 months to write.
Okay.
So I just did an outline. I've talked about it for 2 years though. My husband just told me just write the effing book because he was sick of me saying, "Gosh, I want to write a book. I know I'd be good at it." And I have. I paid everything off that I spent, and I took my family to Punta Cana from it. So
Nice.
And it was
Yeah.
a bestseller on
it was
Amazon.
Really?
bestseller
Mhm.
in like
Oh, you was popping.
6 different categories, I think.
Okay.
So it rolled for sure. I don't really, mess with it much anymore, but yeah, it's pretty cool. But working on now, just we opened a women and children's house. We named it after my daughter Destiny at McShin. So if you know any pregnant women that need our services, substance use disorder, and they can have a child up to 6 years old.
Okay.
So just I focus a lot on that and raising money for McShin and doing the grants. So really, I'm just trying to. What is the future there? Still trying to pump all that out. But personally, I want to start a side hustle. Yeah, I'm going to, not want to, because
Very
I've
excited
been
she
talking
got
about it for 2
What's
years.
up?
So that took me 2 years. So now I'm gonna just I don't know if I like the word coach, but I'm gonna help women more broad, not just for substance
Mhm.
use disorder, just all the other stuff that I have lived experience and like what's gotten me through. So I'm gonna be doing that. I think it's gonna be really cool. So that is kind of my next. I'm really taking steps towards that finally instead of just talking about it. I'm
Okay.
actually developed a plan.
Nice.
Yeah.
Turning all that pain into purpose.
Yep.
Love it.
Don't
Yeah.
talk about it, be about it.
That's it.
I'm
That's a
getting
fact.
there.
Your turn.
Run your hands.
What'd you do,
Gave
bro?
a look.
I'm kidding.
I'm getting threatened.
No one heard
It's just
me.
the camera guy.
Don't,
Okay, she don't
don't
hear.
tell.
No, they can hear.
Yeah.
you.
I know, that's why it's
Oh.
funny.
Oh yeah, he's
Yeah, I've been saying stuff to him
She
like
just
this
said
whole
Thornton,
time.
Sally the horse dog. Don't tell nobody.
Oh, is that who died? in the
No.
book? Oh,
He
You
wanted
found
to
out the
know what
snippet?
horse done.
I have a theory.
already? She didn't even tell us the story yet.
It's got to be the wife.
All right, we'll talk about.
Okay, I brought
What-
that back.
what
We're
else
gonna
you
go
doing?
offline with
Besides-
this.
Besides writing
Circle
your
back.
story,
Pivot. So I'm in this like really awesome recovery leadership academy this year that McShane is kind of like sponsoring me for, and I've been really so I dropped out of school
Mhm.
at Pitt. I just dropped out to go frolic, and so I've just always kind of felt like that was something that was unfinished in my life.
Mhm.
And while University of Pittsburgh was a great academic school, I do feel like I would probably have succeeded a little bit more longevity wise if I went to like a HBCU.
Mhm.
So I've been looking at
FAMU.
yeah, I'm trying to go back. I'm trying to go to Union because it's local. They have like different courses that are like 4 weeks, 6 week, 8 weeks, 16 weeks. That and a ton of them that are hybrid. So
Okay.
that's kind of by the end of this year, I want to be enrolled, or at least be enrolled for like January of next year. Cause yeah, I don't
Florida
know.
A&M has an excellent online program.
I don't want to do that.
You should be a rattler.
My mom went to Union.
Union? Okay.
She went to Union for her theology school. She got her MDiv
That's where my dad
there.
went.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
he
went to
graduated
seminary
from
there.
FAMU, but that's why he came to Richmond to go to seminary
Yeah,
school.
You know what?
Yeah.
Union
Sure.
is a really, really huge, like historically, like Black seminary. Like it is huge.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I don't want to do seminary, but
Not yet.
at all. No, 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 no. But I don't know. So I don't really know what I want to do. I just do know that I love learning, like going back into this leadership academy with like getting homework and readings
Setting
and having to
goals,
yeah,
focus,
I enjoy that. So I don't really know, but I'll be at McShin next year and hopefully have enrollment in a college, and I will be a older millennial student.
Oh,
And that's
rooting
okay.
for you because that's awesome. Yeah, damn right, that's okay.
Yes.
That's always kind of been in the back of my head too. I graduated high school, kind of, sort of. I just never walked across the stage. I went to Tucker, but I technically graduated from Meadowbrook because I had to go to summer school.
Okay.
But I just didn't do the whole finishing.
That's what I
School.
did.
Really?
Well, I graduated a year early. I went to Atlee, but I had to go
Okay.
to Patrick Henry to do 12th grade English. So,
Oh,
but
yeah?
I did go across the seas. I was high, but I don't remember. I got pictures. But
See,
yeah,
that's one of my you get those cringe moments in recovery where
that
you're
was
like,
but that was cool.
Oh.
High. That was like
Well,
I
see-
was actually having fun when I was young, and then when heroin came, it won't.
yeah, no fun.
Isn't that so weird? You get like these memories, these flashbacks, and you're like,
You're like,
oh my God, that was so
fuck.
innocent and great. And then you're like, until it wasn't.
Yeah. But nah, I had like mad family because I'm from Florida, Tallahassee, Florida. That's why I said
Okay.
FAMU. And like all my family went to FAM, so it's like a big thing for us. But so everybody came up here to watch me graduate high school. I mean, like the living room was packed, and I had to walk in there and be like,
I'm not.
Yeah.
That's
Thank y'all for coming, but I'm not graduating. I don't know why my mom didn't tell y'all in advance because
Because that's embarrassing. Why would she say that?
embarrassing as
That's
fuck.
that's what she said.
So I
You gonna
said
sit up
that.
there and tell them.
Told them, and then went right out the door and got
Did
some
they yell
alcohol.
at you?
Nah, nobody said shit. I think they went shopping up at Potomac Mills the next day or something.
Oh wow!
I just was like, but then you get the guilt feeling. It's like, fuck, everybody hates me. They just came 13 hours to see me. Oh, fuck it, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? And there was like that type of guilt
I
and
would
shame.
never come
you know what I'm saying?
back. Never if that happened.
Ooh. Yeah, it
I
took me a
would
minute.
live- Well, I did live.
I made sure everybody
This
was
is-
knocked out before I went back in the
Aw.
house. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of them things where I do want to somehow, some way, like finish. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
what I started. But
Yeah, but you are kind of because you're helping kids.
yeah.
So it's like a full circle.
It always is. And I'm grateful for all of that shit because I could tell some of them that may not be taking their academics as serious right now. And it's like, look, bro, like I was there. Like I get it. You know what I mean? And the young ladies that I work with too. So it is tenfold. And I'm grateful for all of my struggles at this point because without them, I wouldn't be able to sit here with you all or do what I do on the day-to-day basis.
Can't have a testimony without a test.
See, there you go.
Hallelujah.
You've been in some places, I could tell. So before we wrap this joint up, I always go by like what ode of advice do you think you could offer to the person suffering that might hear this joint and say, man, I was there, I remember that. Like they have some of those feelings that you brought up. Like what do you think you could say to them that might possibly help them create that constant change that we've all found?
Yeah. Well, number one, tell someone. Like
Mhm.
tell someone, no matter who it is, someone safe around you, talk about it. And number two, don't give up on yourself. Like don't ever give up on yourself. It doesn't matter what your situation is. Like this is your life. This is your humanity. And definitely like you only got this one life. So
That's
it's either you go this way or you go that way. But sometimes you're just stuck in the middle, and you got to find the super cool people that have lived experience. So just like reach out, get on social media, whatever you got, whatever your jam is. Because I've seen a lot of people get help just through social media saying I'm struggling or whatever. So these days there's so many opportunities. So just don't give up on yourself is the biggest thing that I would say.
No doubt. 100%. Your turn.
Well, she stole my answer, but it's okay because that means that that's really good advice because it means a lot. And I would agree with social media, especially being a younger person, not young, but younger person. I find a lot of camaraderie in social media.
Oh, definitely.
You know, different hashtags and different accounts. Especially being someone that like was in party scenes and like you feel like you're young. You don't want to feel like you're in recovery now and everything sucks, but utilize that and tell someone. And if anyone feels like someone's going to judge them or think that they're weak because of it, I just hope that you know that you are the bravest person ever for picking up the phone and calling and telling someone how you feel.
Salute. That is excellent advice. Both of you all. Well, y'all got anything else y'all want to share?
No, we're good. It's my bedtime.
Yeah, for real.
Time to wrap it up. Y'all go get Scattered Pink, A Diary of a Woman in Recovery. Honesty Liller. I dropped the link to this joint. Monique, we're gonna get your book whenever you finish that joint up.
The horses.
Yeah, we'll figure out which horse passes.
Thornton doesn't believe me.
No, he wants to read it.
I
want to read it
now
too.
I have to send him pictures
We're gonna make
of
it
the
a
actual
Netflix
pages.
Wait,
I have to now.
You illustrated it too?
No, I'm just saying now I feel like his faces.
You can get Michael
We
to
got
draw.
Yo, thank y'all for watching
Thank
Ridiculous
you.
Podcast.
Thank
We be back.
Saying how you feeling right now.